Good morning, children. Today in our class, we are going to start Cell, its Structure and Functions chapter in our biology session. So before starting the class, let's discuss what is cell. Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of life, children. Cell is, in biology, the basic membrane bond unit that contains the fundamental molecules of life and of which all living things are composed. These cells cooperate with other specialized cells and become the building blocks of large multicellular organisms such as humans and other animals. So each and every cell is unique. They are structurally different and functionally different, and it is a building blocks of our body. The study of cell is called as cytology, children. Prefix cyto is cell, ology is nothing but study. Suffix ology means study. Cell study, or it can also be said as cell biology. Next, where the cells are present. Cells are present in all living organisms. Living organisms are classified into plants and animals. And human beings also come under animals, animal category. We are also social animals. Who discovered the cell for the first time? Here is a Robert Hooke. The first cells from an organism, cock, he has discovered it from cock and he named it as a little room, where this observed by Hooke, Robert Hooke. Soon after, microscopist Van Leeuwenhoek observed many other living cells. So Schwann and Scheden theorized that cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. Without cell there is no life. So from where do we observe the cells? How can we observe? It can be observed under microscope because all cells are naked in nature. We cannot see with our eyes. So we require microscope for the observation. Then when it is coming for microscope, who invented the first microscope? Yes, they are nothing but Hans and Zacharias Jensen created the first microscope, children. So coming to the level of organizations, children, like group of cells form to tissue, group of tissues form organs form to organ systems group to form organisms. So coming to the size of the cell. Cells are very small and are seen only with a microscope, with the help of microscope. Note these points here. Smallest cells are the bacterial cells, children, 0.3 to 5 micrometers. And in human beings, it is red blood cells, 7 micrometer. Longest cells are the nerve cells. Largest cells are the bird's eggs. They are nothing but ostrich egg. That is the largest cell. Based on the organization of their cellular structures, all living cells are divided into two groups, children, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes means what? These are the cells that do not have a true nucleus or nuclear membrane. There is no specific nucleus or nuclear membrane. It is undefined. So the organisms within the domains bacteria and archaea have prokaryotic cells. So many have the prokaryotic cell. Coming to the next category, eukaryotic. Prefix U is true. Karyotic is nothing but nucleus. True nucleus. That means this eukaryotic has a correct defined nucleus and nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is the outer covering of the nucleus. Organisms that have eukaryotic cells include protozoa, fungi, plants, and animals. So these are nothing but based on organization of the cellular structures, it is classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Depending upon the number of cells, children, unicellular and multicellular it is classified into. Okay. So the organism which contain only one cell, they are known as unicellular. Example, paramecium, amoeba, bacteria, yeast. These all have only one cell. And coming to multicellular, so the organisms which contain more than one cell is known as multicellular. like human beings, all birds, cats, dogs, everything comes under multicellular organisms. And here you have the differences between unicellular and multicellular children. So unicellular have very less lifespan children because single cell performs all the metabolic activities, whereas multicellular have a long lifespan because there is division of labor, whereas in unicellular there is no division of labor. So here are some of the differences which we have discussed earlier. Clear? Yes. So coming to the structure of animal cell and plant cell. So in the previous class you have already learnt about cells and their structure, children. So you have also learnt about discovery of cells, its size and shape, what is unicellular, multicellular, and you can recall onion cells experiment, rectangular onion cells, while the cheek cells are circular in shape in your 8th class, right? So primarily cells are studied under the microscope. When we observe the cell under a microscope, we can see some parts like cell wall, cytoplasm, nucleus, chloroplast, and the mitochondria. However, when the same cells are observed under the electron microscope, a few other structures become visible. To study various cells, scientists have been trying to observe cells from different parts of plants and animals. They have drawn their structures and now we are reading it as a ready-made, right? So lot of efforts was taken by the scientists to find out what is animal cell, how plant cell look. They have everything they have observed under the microscope. So all the organelles shown in a typical plant cell and animal cell will not exist in every cell, children. For example, see, chloroplast is present in the bottom cell. Bottom is a plant cell and above first one is the animal cell. It is not present in animal cell, isn't it? Yet all the plant cells do have chloroplast. They are mostly found in the cells of green leaves, tender stems, etc. The organelles that feature in most of the cells are included in this model. Typically, cell provides a way to study cells only, children. So only we arrive at such a model, we can compare any cell with it. So first one is a animal cell, second one is plant cell. You have to remember that plant cell contain chloroplast and the outer layer of a plant cell is cell wall, wherein it also has plasma membrane or cell membrane, but it is a second layer of plant cell. Whereas in animal cell, it is the first layer. Plasma membrane is the first layer. And you are seeing all the cell organelles which are present like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi, apparatus, vacuoles, rough endoplasmic, smooth endoplasmic. In endoplasmic it is, and mitochondria is present in both of them. Nucleus is present. Endoplasmic reticulum is present. Inside the nucleus there is a structure known as nucleolus. Nucleolus helps in the synthesis of protein, children. And within the nucleus there is a genetic material, DNA material it is. And nucleus is covered by nuclear membrane in both the cells, isn't it? And vacuole is very big in plant cell, whereas it is very small in animal cell. So these all things you have to observe. In detail we will go in the next class. Okay, so I hope you understood the class, children. Now it's time for assignment. Define cell. Draw a neat labeled diagram of plant cell and animal cell. Write the levels of organization of cell, like group of cells form tissues, organs, organ system, organism, that you have to write. Write the types of cells based on the organization of their cellular structures, children. I am not asking the number of cells. If I ask number of cells, you have to write unicellular, multicellular. But here I am asking about the organization of their cellular structures. That means you have to write about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Exactly. Differences. Write the differences between unicellular and multicellular organisms. What is the study of cell called as? These are your assignment questions. I hope you understood the class, children. Thank you.